diplomatic front. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the UAE President reviewed the full scope of bilateral cooperation. The two leaders welcomed the robust growth in trade and economic cooperation along with energy, education, food security and technology. The two leaders reiterated their unequivocal condemnation of terror and recalled the launch of the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor on the margins of the G20 summit in Delhi in September 2023. So reiterating the slate of cooperation that is taking place between the UAE and India, Prime Minister Modi and MBZ reiterating the new trajectory of bilateral ties between the two sides, highlighting the fact that not just when it comes to trade, but even security cooperation, anti-terror cooperation and tech and education are sectors where the ties continue to prosper. I'm joined by my colleague Siddhant Mishra on the broadcast to get more details. So Siddhant, clearly the roadmap for stronger and more deepened ties have been set by both the leaders.
Well, that's right, Ayushman. In fact, a very, very significant visit, a short visit, but very substantive. In terms of deliverables, if we talk about Ayushman, then both sides have signed letter of intent to finalize the framework for strategic defense partnership, which itself opens new chapters in India-UAE relationship. In fact, both sides have also decided to deepen the civil nuclear cooperation in terms of operation of plants, small advanced modular reactors, large reactors. Both sides have also signed documents for the cooperation in space, food security, and UAE will also be developing Dholera special investment project, perhaps in Gujarat, where a new airport, MRO facility, and a pilot training facility will be coming up in years to come. Now, this relationship is very, very important for India. In fact, under Prime Minister Modi and President MBZ, this relationship has touched new heights. Both leaders have elevated relationship to strategic partnership. There have been multiple high-level visits, defense cooperation, cooperation in maritime domain. SEPA has also been signed to remove the trade barriers. Now, the bilateral trade stands at around $100 billion. So, the ties, very strong ties with the United Arab Emirates. But today, it's the opening of a new chapter because both countries already had a strong defense cooperation. But now, the new chapter has been opened where letter of intent has been signed to finalize the framework for the strategic defense partnership. It includes advanced tech, innovation, cooperation in defense, etc., etc. So it's a very, very landmark and significant development taking place. And as I said, it was just a 3-hour visit of the President of UAE to India. In fact, Prime Minister Modi welcomed him at the airport. Prime Minister Modi also hosted him at his residence, not at the Hyderabad house, where first restricted format talks took place, followed by expanded format talks, and where these issues have been decided. In fact, both leaders also exchanged perspectives on regional and global issues, including situation in Iran, situation in Gaza. In fact, India has also been invited to join the Gaza Peace Board, and ongoing situation in Yemen.
Right.
So perhaps there are a lot of meanings to this visit, this very surprise visit for many of UAE President to India. In fact, this defense cooperation will definitely, make a lot of people worry in the region.
Right. Thank you, Siddhant, for getting us an update on that. So Prime Minister Modi and the President of the UAE setting that new trajectory when it comes to bilateral ties in multiple sectors. We're shifting focus back home to a piece of breaking news coming in from Telangana in a key development